Hello, folks. So I was gonna do a let me turn that off. I was gonna do a face cam video. But my camera's dead, so I'm letting it charge up. But I went to see F1. It was good. I'm not a reviewer or anything. I just like talking about my experiences. Next week, I'm gonna see Fantastic Four. I was trying to decide between it and Superman. One of my homies was like, "Go watch Fantastic Four first, because if you watch Superman first, you're gonna be comparing the two." And it's like, okay, well, let me go watch Fantastic Four first. But I saw when I went to watch Thunderbolts a couple months ago, I saw the trailer for Fantastic Four, and I'm not plugged into the movie world. Like, now I'm getting back into it. I've been watching a lot of movies, like just going to the movie and watching a lot of movies lately. But yeah, I'm not plugged into the movie world. I've never been plugged into the Marvel thing, so I didn't know a new Fantastic Four was coming out. And apparently, it's like, because they're coming into the MCU now, they're like redoing their whole story. So yeah, I'm excited about that. But F1 was this week because it came out first, and I was like, if I don't go see it like immediately, it might just like be out of the movie theaters, and like I can't predict that. So so let me go get it. Let me go see it now. Yeah, I don't know anything about F1. I don't know anything about racing, the Daytona 500, Formula One racing, race cars, nothing. I didn't even know anything about the plot of the movie, or whether or not it was like based on a true story, or if it was like an original story, or anybody that was acting in it. So like when I got there and I was like, oh, Brad Pitt's in it, I was like, damn, I haven't seen a movie with Brad Pitt acting in it in forever. And then I got home and I looked up how old Brad Pitt was, and it said 61. And I was like, that guy does not look 61. He has taken immaculate care of himself. And then it was like, Damson Idris is in it, and I was like, okay, like I was like, I've heard of him, but like I haven't watched anything he's actually been in. Like I didn't watch Snowfall or anything like that, because I don't really watch television, or any kind of like serialized stuff unless it's like anime. Like, and I barely watch anime, so it's like, I haven't really watched anything with him in it. And then I looked him up, and he was 31, and I was like, he looks 25, so that those people are taking care of themselves. The first thing that I noticed about the movie was like, I was looking and I was like, bro, what did they shoot this on? Like, please, I have to know the hardware that they shot this on. Like, because I want to look into it, because I'm a nerd like that. And I was just like, that opening scene where it like transitions from like the opening, I don't want to say credits, but like the opening credits type of thing, and then like he's in the camper, and like before you can tell that it's transitioned in an actual movie time, like you just see the light through the window, and he knocks on the window and wakes him up, and then it's like he goes out, like when he's walking out to go towards, I don't know what you would call it there, but like where the crew is when they're doing like the pit stops and everything on the track. When he's walking out there, all I could think was, hoo-wee. I was like, oh, this movie is beautiful. I was like, what in the world did they shoot this on? So I'm definitely gonna be doing some research to find out, because it was really well done. I don't know. Y'all tell me, has Apple done any original films besides this one? Was this their first one? Like when I saw like Apple original, I thought at first it was like another movie trailer that was coming up, but it was actually for this movie. And I was like, oh, it's like an Apple original film. I was like, I've never seen, not that I watch that many movies, but like I haven't heard anything about Apple delving into like the film world like that. So to see that if this is their first movie, or if it's one of however many they've done, to see it, this well done, and for it to get good reviews was very good. I think that The only thing I will say that I feel like could have been better was just like the okay, what I liked was like the way they did their transitions, right? From the very beginning, it's Sonny like in the camper van. So he's asleep and then he's woken up out of his sleep. Then it goes into his side of the story. And then it's like it's him like once you're introduced to everybody, you get another scene where he's asleep and it's like the bluish tint of the night, and the perspective kind of shifts at that point from introducing everybody to him kind of becoming the star of the show type shit, right? And then when you get to Pierce's the kid, damn, what's his first name? I forgot his first name. I just know his last name is Pierce in the movie. The rookie. When it's time for him to kind of shift back into like that lead role of the team, like you get him in a sleeping scene, much like the one that you saw Sonny in, where it's like the blue tint of night from reflection from the moon, waking up suddenly. You know what I mean? Like they keep using that to like shift perspectives and show you that it's like a shift in like where the movie is. I feel like the idea was well done in that sense. Like I like that. I picked up on that most definitely just straight watching it. But what I wish would have happened was I wish they would have spent or wrote it in a different way to where it's like, okay, I didn't really think that his character, let me try to remember his first name. F1. Let me look at the summary. I'm being I know his last name, but I can't remember. I'm gonna be mad once I remember it. Once I find it. Plot. Joshua Pierce. I couldn't think of his first name. JP. Duh. Yeah. I'm just gonna call him JP from now on, because that's what Sonny called him. But JP, once, like, I wish that, I feel like they tried to use the hospital scene with Sonny as like as that was the moment that JP's perspective shift in terms of like trying to listen to the things that he was trying to tell him and trying to be more of a team player and this and that. But I don't really think it worked because it was like, I mean, what was the perspective shifter in that moment? Like, he just came off like, I know they had lost that last race and like something tragic had happened to him. Like, they were supposed to be kind of like mirrors of each other, but I don't know if they like, okay, it worked in the sense that like Sonny is the has-been, could have been star. JP is like the new star. But this is my thing. The only people that think that he's a star the whole movie are himself and the owner of the team that Sonny comes to help. It's not even like, it's weird because it's like he's doing all this media stuff and like, you know, they have the media talk to him, but his friend is telling him like, oh, you need to lean more into it and you're not popular enough. And, you know, like he has all of these sponsorships and all of this type of stuff, but it's like he's never won a race. That's why the team is on the edge of being sold. And it's like his friend that's his manager is trying to tell him like, we need to lean more into the social media stuff so that we can get our name out there and all of this type of stuff. But it's like, it's the girl at the party didn't know him and wanted to introduce her to another racer. And maybe that, like, is that, now that I'm talking it out, right? Like, was that the ironic part, that he was never like really this big star like he thought he was? You know what I mean? He had a lot to learn and a lot of ways to go, in not just in terms of his racing, but also in terms of his actual stardom. Like, he was out there just like posing as a star, and he was never really that guy like that. Because okay, I'm realizing that maybe that was the point now that I'm talking about it with you guys, because I was saying that I don't think it was that well done in terms of, like, it was kind of confusing. And that's kind of my point. It was kind of confusing because I was like, what was his perspective shift? What did he learn? What actually happened to him? Like, nothing really happened to him. Like, you know what I mean? To cause him to want to listen to Sonny or want to help the team out more, or you know what I mean? Like, that relationship didn't really develop. Like they kind of developed it when she brought everybody together, and you know they were duped into basically going to dinner together, and they were in the lounge and playing poker. But that, like, it's like, okay, it was that supposed to be like a relationship build? Like, it really kind of wasn't. Like, they were kind of being assholes to each other the whole time. They never really, like, the only way it ended is because JP, like, won the poker match, and okay, he got to be the lead racer the next time. But it's not even like he ended up winning that race. Like, the whole reason that they were able to win the race at the end was because they lost that race. And, like, the tragic thing happened to Sonny, not him that time. Like, so it was like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't see why his perspective shift. I didn't see why, I didn't see why what happened at the end happened the way that it happened, other than that's the way we wrote the movie. And I never want a movie to feel like that. I want it to feel earned, and it just kind of didn't. Like, the relationship that Sonny had with the I can't remember the lady's name, but the lady that was like the head engineer for the cars, like, their relationship felt kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, the first thing I thought was, like, when they were, you know, like, after JP left the lounge and they were flirting with each other, and then they got to basically fucking at the end, like, I was like, she's kind of a groupie, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's how I felt. I was like, damn, she a groupie bitch, because, like, it was okay. Sonny's character is cool. He's sleek talking. He's, you know, all of that type of stuff, right? But, like, their relationship went from, and I guess I've seen this kind of thing happen in real life too, but it's just, in a movie, I want it to be different. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be kind of random. Like, I want it to be written well. Like, I don't want it to match, like, the randomness of real life that closely. But it was like, it went from, he's a dick, he doesn't listen to any of us, he's gonna get us killed, or severely hurt. We changed the stuff around for him. No, this is before they changed stuff around for him. His actions directly led to JP getting hurt, and the only person that confronted him about it was JP's mom. Like, JP kind of confronted him about it later, but not really. Like, they didn't really explore that part of it. She didn't confront him about it. As a matter of fact, they changed the fucking car after the fact. They made it more dangerous, like he asked, just so that he could go out there and start winning and all of this type of shit. And it's like, bro, like, what happened to, like, our star just, like, ended up in the hospital and missed 3 races, bro? Like, what? Like, we didn't confront him on that. We didn't say anything. The only person that said anything was his mom. Like, and he's awake, so I don't know why he didn't say anything in that moment. Like, I get it. It was like, oh, I'm, you know, he doesn't want to tell her, and then he tells her at the end. But it was like, it kind of came out of nowhere at the end, because it was like, what changed in his character to make him want to say something? Was it because Sonny ended up getting hurt and old buddy was telling him that he can't race for him anymore and all of this type of stuff, so he felt like he needed to step up as a leader in Sonny's absence? It's like, what happened in the story that would make me feel as though he would feel that way, though? Like, let me follow after. Oh, Sonny was doing such a great job with the team, and the way I was handling stuff before, I was kind of standoffish and not really being with them. So now let me race with them. Let me be with them. Let me come in all cheery and say hey to everybody and all of this type of stuff. Like, nothing happened in his character arc to tell me he was gonna do that. Like, nothing. There was no motivation there for me to believe that he was gonna do that. There was no motivation there for me to believe, other than the fact that they were setting it up, they were forcing it on me the whole movie to believe that him and the lady were gonna end up hooking up together, and she was gonna go all goo goo gaga. Like, when she came out on that balcony with that too big ass t-shirt on, giggling and smiling and shit, I'm like, nigga, I've seen women my age do that shit, and I'm talking about when I was younger. Like, it's like she's grown as fuck. She's a divorcee. Like, why is she, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that she couldn't do that, but what I'm saying is it came off as groupie. It didn't come off as, and especially because it ended up ending and them not even being together because he's just off to another race. Like, it's a fleeting moment. It's a fleeting relationship for no other reason than star of the show gets the girl. But it's like, but Sonny wasn't supposed to be the star of the show. Like, he would, like, and even if you were going to make him the star of the show, nobody ever transitioned into that. He kind of just came in and just became that because they finally start winning. But they finally start winning after he almost got your star fucking racer killed. Like, y'all see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't mean to rant on this for this long, but it was just like, because that's the only, like, what I just went on a rant about was the only real issue that I had with the movie. It was like, the pacing was good. I felt like the story as a story was actually compelling and interesting. I felt like the characters on their own, not in terms of like their arcs or anything or like anything like that, I felt like they were interesting because, like I said, JP is kind of, he was like, but it's me trying to do the lifting for the story a little bit itself, but it was there enough for me to say that it was there, where it's like, okay, JP was like, he's an asshole, he's kind of a loser, he's not, like, that's what Sonny was trying to tell him the whole time. Nigga, you have not won any races, bro. Like, you happy about placing top 10, you ain't even won shit. Like, you not him. You not him. You obviously not him on socials. You trying to pose for the camera and be this star nigga, and they ain't chose you as no star because you ain't winning. Like, the bitches don't even know you like that, cuz. Like, but at the same time, it's like he has all of these sponsorships and this and that off the back of his manager getting them for him, where it's like he starts to think of himself that way. And it manifests itself in him treating the staff shitty, him coming into work late as hell, especially because the old guy in the beginning was like, he's here earlier than me and earlier than you. Like, he was trying, like, all of those things were supposed to be teaching moments because he kind of lets the shit get to his head. He's arrogant and he's not really as good as he thinks he is. He's not a winner. He doesn't take his craft seriously, and he's not in it for the love of racing like Sonny is. When they asked him what his motivation was, it was money, it was this, it was that. And he said something earlier in the movie where he was telling Sonny, you don't know anything about me. Like, I had to work brick by brick to get here. And it's like, they do not explore that. They don't tell us anything about his past. They don't tell us anything about, you know what I'm saying, what he had to do to get here. We just see him there. And when he's there, he's kind of a loser. Like, he's a loser that thinks he's a winner. So, like, that's the only problem that I have with it, but I do enjoy the idea of his character. Like, it's there. It's presented in the movie. You can pick it up from the movie, but it's just like, I wish they would have explored it a little more. That's all I'm saying. But I do like the idea of his character. I love Sonny's character. Everything about Sonny is fine. Like, I wish they would have told the story a little better, but I actually like him. He's a likable dickhead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a very down-to-earth guy. The engineer lady was fine until she became a groupie, but she was fine. You know, I like everybody. Everybody's fine. All of the characters are fine. The world that it's set up in is good. The media members are kind of like, you know, they were the exaggerated portion of like, oh, dickhead media members always trying to create a story, you know what I mean, type shit. But it's like, that was fine, you know. Like everything else was fine. Everything else around it was really good. It was compelling. Like while you were in there watching it, it was good. I like this. Obviously, you love to see the hero story and them win the race and climb the top of the mountaintop and get there and everything. You know, I like the thrill of that emotion, like where they call back to lines earlier in the movie and you see things kind of play out and you get to those moments and like it's like the ending, that last 15-20 minutes of the movie was really good. It was really good. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was the best portion of it. The opening and the ending. And that's not to shit on what was there in the middle. It was just like, it was good. It was good. I just felt like if it wanted to be great, like if you wanted me to elevate it to great, it needed a little more. It needed a little more there, a little more development there. But nah, yeah, I like I said, I think the movie is beautiful. I think the soundtrack is kick ass. Who did they say did the soundtrack? Because I saw it and I was like, oh, he did this? I was like, I've heard of him. I know him for sure. Led Zeppelin. It was Led Zeppelin. Yeah, like when they said Led Zeppelin was involved with it, I was like, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I really like the soundtrack, really like the compositions and the shots in this movie. It's a beautiful looking movie. The overall plot is pretty good. The characters are good. They're just not, it's just not great. I feel like the soundtrack is great. The look of the movie is great. I feel like the characters are about a 7. Like they're above average for sure. It's not like average. They're good. Then like the plot, I think the idea of the plot is like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like it's a really good idea. I feel like the way they set it up, like they really had me in that first half of the movie. I was like, oh, I see where this is going. Like I just can't wait to see how they pay it off. And they just didn't quite pay it off the way that I would have wanted to. But the setup was, it had me invested. It had me hooked. So there's something to be said about having me hooked. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know I spent the majority of this like shitting on that one part. Not shitting on it, but just criticizing that one part. But I guess you always have more to say about the negatives than you do the positives. Especially because like I'm not really a film reviewer or anything like that. I'm just talking from regular guy perspective. Like I know a little bit more about audio. Oh, that's one thing I will say. As somebody that's like trying to take it more seriously, I like just paying attention to like sound engineering techniques. Like I like how they had the like they had that shit like layered over the sounds of him getting into the car, and then they would cut in and out of the crowd, and then it all quieted down, and they only had the lights where it's like counting down to the beginning of the race. And then right before the beginning, you hear the commentators come in, and then they like, but it's like 2 seconds before they zoom and take off, and you hear the cars go. Like it was, stuff like that. Like I nerd out over stuff like that. It was so good. It was so good. Like the sound design in this movie was really good. I like the way they played around with it, especially because it's so unique, because it's not an action movie in the sense that like it's a typical action movie. It's a racing movie, and I feel like they use the unique elements of it being a racing movie to design the sound around, and I thought that they did it really well, because there's a lot of moments like that in the movie where I just sat there and said, like, I'm picking up on that type of stuff where I'm just like, oh, I really like the way they did that, or that they did that, like, or, oh, that was nice. I might need to tuck that into the back of my brain and study that a little more when I'm thinking about putting together my type of stuff. Like, I'm nerding out over shit that, like, most people wouldn't nerd out over in that sense, but, like, it was really well done. I felt like that part of it was really well done. Like, whoever they got to craft this film, I thought they did a really good job. I felt like that was the best part of it. You can tell that their budget was well spent. Their budget on the actors, because everybody's acting was pretty good. Their budget on the actors was really good. Their budget on the cinematography and the sound design was excellent. It was top notch. Like that's what you expect when you go into a theater. Like it's one of those things where, like, when I watched Thunderbolts, that's kind of the thing that I thought was missing. It didn't feel like I was in a theater watching that movie. It did with F1 for sure. F1 felt from the quality of the actual recording of the film to the sound design to everything that was like there with me in the theater. It even to the way that just the story flowed. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the story, like if I'm comparing it to when I went with Thunderbolts, like the way the story flowed, the way everything meshed together, I feel like it was a more well crafted film, and it made me feel like I was in the movie theaters watching a film with this movie. And I think it being able to capture that speaks volumes to, like, the people that worked on it more than anything. So regardless of any other problems that I might have had with, like, the plot progression, especially towards the end and some of the character development, like, the actual plot itself was really good. The ideas behind the characters was really good. And the crafting of it being a film was very good. That's why I say it's a good movie. Like I'm not really a movie reviewer, but if I had to give it a score, I guess I would go like 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't creep up into that 8.5, 9, 10 range, but like no way. But like, I'm thinking like a 7.5. It was really good. It was worth the $15 that I went to go see it. I'll say that. And it's worth, like, if it comes to streaming later on, like if it comes to Apple TV later on and you haven't been able to see it in theaters, hey, see it, bro. Or if you're watching this a couple years down the line, you just so happen to like find this or anything, hey, go see it, bro. Go watch it. It's well worth the watch. I liked it in that sense. I'm a super yapper. I did not realize I went on for 30 minutes. But yeah. I hope I got enough thoughts out there to satisfy you people. Thank y'all for coming and listening to me ramble about this. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.